So Luke 9:13, Peter makes one of his um, silly statements, one of the statements that actually make him, so lovable for most of us. He endears himself to most believers because, he said the darndest things, and honestly, aren't you and I happy that he has said them? Because this way, when I say similarly dumb things in the presence of God, then at least I'm like, okay, so I'm not the only one. Actually, the Apostle Peter was just like me. He is, quote unquote, he's the patron saint of all of us who say dumb things in the presence of God and in the work of God. And at least we can look at it and say, okay, so the Lord didn't stop loving him and didn't stop caring for him. So anyways, here he says, and it came about as these were parting from him, Peter said to Jesus, Master, it is good for us to be here, and let us make 3 tabernacles, one for you, one for Moses, one for Elijah, not realizing what he was saying. So actually, Peter, the point is that is happening here is this is the Mount of Transfiguration. Jesus showed himself, well, kind of let the glory that was inside him shine through for a little while, and these disciples were just awestruck by the whole thing. And then Moses and Elijah appeared to speak with him, and those two, of course, represent Moses, the law, and Elijah, the prophets. And then there's Jesus, and they are communing. They are talking about his approaching sacrifice on the cross, as we know. And so Peter is saying now, let's build 3 tabernacles, and this is the urge to enshrine. Okay, this is the enshrining urge in a believer, and that's what I call it, at least. And this is the urge to enshrine here, and this is kind of a really faulty desire, but we do all have it, I think, especially when we will have experienced something truly awesome in the presence of God, and something really, really grand will have happened with us, and we see something magnificent, let's say in prayer. You enjoy the presence of God. I remember being in prayer in the presence of God, and just telling God, please don't, let's not let this stop. I wish I could stay here my whole life, and of course it ended, but there was that desire to kind of solidify the moment, to say, this is the moment where I want to live, and I don't want to go on. So that is a powerful desire, or let's say you're at a conference or something, and you just want it to stay like that. So why do we have that desire? Okay, so one thing why we want it so is that we feel we're at a pinnacle. Okay, we're at a we're at a culmination, but we're at a high point in our walk of faith, and we say in our hearts, it's never going to be like this again, and so I want it to stop here, because it's only that's it. It's only downhill from here. So I want to kind of hit the pause button and say, this is where I belong. But that is contrary to actually what God has for us, because in fact, God has more for you, and God has more for me. And yes, maybe there is some downhill coming after that. They did have to go down off the hill. Well, physically, that is, of course. But in our life of faith, maybe there's a downhill thing after that. Okay. But could God lead you higher than this was? Could there be even a greater experience, and if not a greater experience, then a greater depth with God after this? And the answer is, yeah, of course, and he desires to. And this is why he doesn't pause the moment. He says, no, let's move on. And just consider that, turn it around in your heart. I trust that it does bless you.